the morning, heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll, baby.
Now listen here, Dutch. The Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! What we got? 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Birds! Oh my gosh, Chad.
Your favorite Chicagoan. Go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 302BIRDS. I am back. I finally got my Wi-Fi back up after that storm. Thank you to all you guys who stuck around last week. Thank you to Jack and Ashley for running the show. But we got a ton for you guys tonight to talk about. An absolutely, as always, jam-packed show, but I really mean it this time. Kyle Schwarber hitting 3 home runs last night. Eagles in Brazil on Friday, which we have a special call in here in a second. We're going to get to Jamie, a.k.a. the Philly sports guy. I'm just waiting for his Wi-Fi to lighten up a little bit. I'm keeping an eye on it in the background. And then we also have Ballpark Tommy, going to be talking about the Phillies clean sweep. Yes, the S word. We can finally say it again. Rejoice, jump up and down. So much more. But we'll try bringing PSG in here to start. I know he's only got a little bit of time, but I want to thank him for jumping on with us in the middle of Brazil, live from Brazil, from the party bus. We're going to give it a try, and if it's bad, we'll do Ballpark Tommy. But welcome to the show. A legend, a favorite, the Philly sports guy, live from Brazil, a.k.a. the Brazilian King, as you guys can see. Looks like his Wi-Fi has been in and out, but if you guys didn't know, I mean, he's pretty much done everything over there so far. He's paraglided. Yeah, I'll let him take it away. Go ahead, Jamie.
Maybe.
You guys still not getting anything either?
I'm not getting anything.
We'll try again in a sec. We'll bring you back on in a second, Jamie. Sorry, it's been in and out. Once he gets to his destination, it should be better. But I'm really excited for him to tell you guys from his perspective everything that he's done because it's looked like an awesome trip to say the least. But without further ado, we'll just get into Ballpark Tommy, give that Wi-Fi a chance to get better. Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Finger stitch. Let me just address the elephant in the room real quick, too. Before the Nick's Pizza, can you just get right into it, too? Because I don't know if we had this in the topics. I apologize. Is Bryce Harper okay?
Yeah, they said it's just a bruise and that they'll probably give him a rest day tomorrow and then he'll be back the day after that. He just got hit by a pitch, that's all.
Good.
I will say last night he looked very uncomfortable during that one.
Last night he looked a little uncomfortable as the other elbow too. So hopefully he's okay.
Everybody's kind of dealing with stuff right now. As the kid from Sheboygan, PA, the famous news clip once said, we're just kind of going through it, you know. It's that late in the season. They're down to their last 30 games in the season. And you've played 130 games. Everybody's banged up. Everybody's sore. It's like this, Jack, because you can't relate to anything but football. It's like playing December football. You're sore. You're tired. You're a little injured. Everyone is. Stop being a crybaby about it. And that's kind of been Bryce's take on it, you know?
Wow, he just called Bryce Harper a crybaby. Shit.
I didn't call him a crybaby.
Oh.
I'm saying his take has been that he he's going to play through the pain.
Okay, whatever you say, Tommy. But nice to get that sweep. How you feeling about the Phils? What, 5 games win streak?
Yeah, I think it is, right? 4 games.
4 games. I think they're looking good. I really think that this team is ready for it, and I'll let Tommy hit more on it.
I think that Shard said it, a.k.a. Eric, a.k.a. the man, the myth, the legend of Phillies postgame. I think said it best in our group chat this week. The Phils are back. If they finally feel back, they're not just hoping for a win, and if they get lucky, win the series. Now it feels like they're winning the series, and if they get lucky, they sweep a series. They finally feel back to clicking on all cylinders. Bryce is still a concern. I'm not putting down that Bryce, now that we are going on to a solid month of no home run and we are gearing up for the playoffs, is a concern. Do I think he'll figure it out? Yes, he's a pro's pro. He had a similar stretch last year. If you guys remember, he was sore after he had a hot start when he first came back from the IL. Then he went like the whole month of May and a good chunk of June not hitting a home run. And then he went on an absolute tear in July and August. I don't think he'll stay in this slump. I think he'll figure it out. All that being said, is it concerning still that he hasn't hit a home run since August 9th? Yes. However, seeing Schwarber finally just like unload a month's worth of home runs in 2 games, fabulous. He hasn't hit one either since August 14th. And then last night and tonight, he unloads 4 between the 2 days. He's only other player to get on base 5 times in a game and have at least 3 home runs was Michael Jack Schmidt, 1976, April 14th, baby, against the Cubbies. And it was at Wrigley Field. And he won up Schwarber and had 4 homers there, mind you. That's why he's the greatest Philly of all time. But I do love my Schwarberian.
Damn, I like that.
The sweep definitely has me feeling good, though, Jackson.
He's fucking lyricist over there tonight, isn't he, Jack?
100%. Schwarber is definitely getting drug tested after this week
Absolutely.
is up. Because that is insane. The Bluejays, how do you let up? You will go up 6-1 in the first inning, and then all of a sudden Schwarber just comes out swinging and hits that 3-run home run late in the game. So Schwarber is hitting on all cylinders. Estevez, is that who pitched tonight or closed up tonight?
Yeah,
today?
Carlos Estevez.
Estevez. He has the
Kamehameha name we have ever had.
The Kamehameha is legendary. After he pitches out, get the last strike. But yeah, I mean this team is playing great ball. I'm only gonna be a Phillies fan until Friday. Because Fridays go Eagles. But yeah, no, this is awesome to see. This Philly team's kind of get everything back. Offense playing well. Pitching is still struggling, but I think this team is ready for it, and I think they are going to unload the next few months with all these W's.
I think the number 5 spot in the pitching rotation is still worrisome. Orion Kirkring has been lights out. Strom has been lights out. Hoffman, Estevez is even Tanner Banks has been, and Jose Ruiz. All those guys out of the bullpen have been lights out. Wheeler's been lights out. Now, Sanchez had a rocky first, but he was lights out the rest of the game today. Nola, Mr. Consistent, has been lights out. Now, Ranger, he got rocked his last outing, but before that, he went 8 innings strong. And he's been pretty consistent all year, too. So, to me, it's this 5th spot, which it worries me because I want my guys to be fresh come the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping they could expand to like a 6-man rotation if need be in September, just so they're fresh for October. What worries me is not having anyone for a 5th option. hopefully Nick Nelson can give him some length and then do a bullpen game the rest of the way on Sunday. But that's what worries me about the pitching is this 5th spot and then not keeping your guys fresh for October.
Understandably so, because that's kind of where I was worried today with that elbow hit. I know, like Tom said, it's just a bruise, which is great. That's good to hear that. But at first, you're like, oh, shit. I mean, this is like the worst possible player pretty much for the Phillies for it to happen to. I want to say the worst possible time, that would arguably be in the World Series or in, the conference championship, or the playoffs. But it's pretty damn close to, that NLCS.
Yeah,
there
National
you go.
League Championship Series.
Like I said, sitting in a green room. That's the quote of Dalton of the podcast. But yeah, I totally get it because that frustration and you don't want to see that with any of your main players. So hopefully, he starts to get it back together because he's kind of been like Tom alluded to earlier, just not his full self. We've seen that, there's more that Bryce Harper can be doing. He can kick it up, I think, a little bit. And once he does, then I think that this team, because that's the thing about the Phillies too, they all really respond well to him. So I think once he kicks it up, then things will start to go well.
This is the last thing, and then I'll move on. I know we early on in the season we saw that Bryce Harper is not really hustling to the bag. That one play, I think it was last night, or no, it was whenever, a couple games ago, where he kind of hustled down the line and got on base. That shows me that he is actually trying and he still has that hustle in him, which we need from him. Even if he's not, hitting home runs, he still has that kind of play in him. So keeping the glass half full for Bryce.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that narrative started. I heard it on WIP a few times. I've heard it other places.
I was going to say.
I can't stand this.
It's a call-in. It's Tommy from Delco that called in to WIP and said it. That guy.
No, it was not. That Bryce is not hustling. Bryce is hustling. I mean, you can be hurt and not look as fast and that you're necessarily trying as hard. But if you're hurt, it doesn't. You're going to look different than how you normally do. I think he's hurting, desperately needs an off day. I think he's lying about how hurt he is, which as somebody who played catcher, did all that type of stuff through high school and whatnot, no, it's not the same. I understand. But you just play like that. He's playing through it. I can appreciate that. And he's trying his best and whatnot. But the dude needs an off day. He needs an off day. He needs to let his body heal. I want to see Bryce Superman Harper come out and be unleashed. And I think what's holding him back is his unwillingness to take a day off. I don't think he's not hustling. I don't think he's not trying. I see him taking extra bags. He took extra bags in the Braves series. He was taking extra bags in Kansas City 2 series ago now. I don't think he's not trying and not hustling. And I've heard this narrative the last 2 weeks that he wasn't hustling. I don't know where it came from, but it's got to stop. And I will be the one who dies on the mountain that says it, that he is hustling.
Yes, Tommy.
He just
Tommy.
He's saving up his energy. I like that take. That's a good take.
Let's think about the craziness of the schedule that they have right now, right? They had the Braves. Then they did a 2-game series in Toronto. Now they're flying to Miami to start playing a series in Miami starting tomorrow. Then they fly back to Philly, having Tampa meet them in Philly. And then they have the Mets series, which obviously those series are always difficult. And then they're flying to Milwaukee. They have one off day. Their next off day is not until next Thursday. It's kind of insane. Most teams are not. I mean, obviously teams have crazy schedules. It's just the way of baseball, but this is kind of crazy. So I think we're going to start to see more of this. Unfortunately, maybe not to this extent, but I think we're going to continue to see it. I mean, I thought Schwarber was going to go down last night when that pitch hit him in the soft part of his foot.
Yeah.
That was for me as a fan, I was a little like, hopefully he's okay. But I think we're going to continue to see signs that they're tired because they're not really going to have an off time between now and when they get back to Philly after the Brewers series. I think that's when we'll start to see them kind of settling in for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And I want to give a quick shout out too. Can you bring up that last comment too, Jack? Sorry. Rich Bridge. If you guys aren't, please join the Eagles Mania Facebook group. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Rich. They run it over there. It's an awesome Facebook group that we have been really immersing ourselves in that community. It's a ton of fun. So stay tuned for more. But if you guys haven't, please join that Facebook group. It's a ton of fun. Shout out to Eagles Mania, Rich and Kathy. We appreciate you guys. So I also want to talk about moving along now to somewhere where I claim to be from. Jack knows. No, it's
You're
not
from
Delaware.
Jersey. You're from Jersey, okay? You were born in Jersey. You were born in Jersey. You're not from Delaware. You're not from Maryland. You are from Jersey, okay?
So when I'm at a Ravens game, I'm from Maryland. When I'm at an Eagles game, I'm from St. Joe's. Oh my God, that would really piss him off. One of that. I can see it's rubbing Tom the wrong way too. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that bad. But I was actually grew up in New Jersey, got all my cognitive ability there. So the 76ers are actually talking about moving to Camden, New Jersey. Now, for those of you guys that know, Camden is not the safest area, is probably the simplest way to put it. Shout out to my Uncle Bob. He's actually a sheriff out there. He helps out, and he does a phenomenal job with all that. But go Birds. Shout out to you, Uncle Bob, if you're listening. But, yeah, Camden now is making a real push. New Jersey, the state, is making a push. They're trying to give some upwards of $400 million in tax incentives to the 76ers to go out and move to South Jersey. Now, I did look up the plot of land because I'm a weirdo. It was the former Riverfront prison. If you're coming over the bridge from PA to Jersey, it'll be on your left-hand side. I don't think that there's enough space. It's a big lot. It's probably comparable, maybe a little bit smaller than Wells Fargo is. I just don't necessarily like the idea of the Philadelphia 76ers playing in New Jersey or Delaware. You guys know I have the biggest Delaware bias in the world. Love Delaware, 302 Birds. You know what it is, 302. But I don't want the Philadelphia 76ers, the Eagles, any of them ever here because that's tradition. So I don't know about you guys, but I still am not for it. It looks like Chinatown isn't going to work out because they released that economic funding plan or whatever they called it, that city standard report that basically said, yeah, this doesn't really do shit. It doesn't do anything. It's going to do just as much damage as good. So it's going to really have no economic impact whatsoever. So they're trying to get some kind of movement, I think, because I'll leave it at this. They're running out of time right now. They need to start building that stadium if they want to utilize it in the 2031-2032 season. But what are you guys thinking about this? Sixers in Camden?
Go ahead.
Looks like you're muted there, Jack. So will you try and fix your mic? I'll let Tom take it. Something's going on with your mic.
First off, I think this is a real slap in the face that Governor Murphy was just complaining that he needed to raise taxes to do all this stuff that everyday New Jerseyans need every day. He just raised fares on New Jersey mass transit. He just raised tolls across New Jersey. He just raised taxes on properties. He just during his administration added more taxes, and then magically when he wants a new Sixers stadium that isn't really going to benefit most of New Jersey, he can magically find $400 million. Like, I think that's a slap in the face to most New Jerseyans.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. Second, and it doesn't sit well with me. Like, the Giants and the Jets already play in New Jersey and still call themselves the New York Giants and Jets. I think it's awful. I don't like it. I also don't like having to possibly go over the bridge because now when I go to a Sixers game, now I got to pay a $5 toll, which is actually it's going to be $6. They're raising the toll with the all the bridges coming back from Jersey because it's such a stinky state. To come back to starting now. It's September already.
So all I
You
gotta
just get
say
fucking
is,
pissed off once September hits. Like the Eagles don't even take a snap yet, and you're already pissed off at the world. Probably because you're not back in your favorite state in New Jersey. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
so I hate New Jersey as a state. It is the armpit of America. It is the worst state on the East Coast. I hate it. The beaches suck. And also going to
Thank you, Josh.
Chinatown is stupid because then you have to get a subway to go to the stadium, which is stupid because some people like tailgating. So I say just stay in Philly. Why are we trying to change it? Because it's complete BS. Like we haven't had any issues with Philadelphia, where we're located now, other than Comcast sucks, horribly. Then we need to sell the team, get Comcast out of there. Shut up.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Maybe God bless
But yeah,
you.
that's what I have to say.
What do we pay $40 like a game to park there? If like they don't have the money to like stay there. I'm confused on that. That's weird. Like what's
I'm
the
just
issue?
saying, if I'm paying $40 for parking in Chinatown, I better be getting like some kind of fucking thing out of it, like some
You're
kind of
gonna get
fucking
robbed.
meal to go or something. I don't know.
You're going to be paying more than $40 to park in Chinatown. Most stadiums that are within like a downtown / center city area, like let's take Boston for example. If you go to TD Garden, it's like $80 to park. Or for
Silver
a Red
Field is
Sox-
up to 120 sometimes. When I was living in Atlanta, you had to pay $75 to park even at the aquarium if there was even a soccer game going on down the street at the Dome. Like
the Nationals suck. Washington D.C. Nationals suck. It was $100 to park last year when I went down there for a Phillies game. Hey, thank God I found parking around the Senate. Had to walk from the U.S. Capitol building, U.S. Capitol building, to the Nationals Park, because otherwise it was $100 to park. You gotta be shitting me. Hey, Dutch. This is a terrible idea to move them to Center City. It's a terrible idea to move them to Jersey because I ain't paying $5 toll to come back because some billionaire needed another $400 billion in tax incentives. And if the dude can F right off, he's done nothing for the city. He bought the Commanders. Now he's trying to muscle more money out of good, hardworking Sixers fans. And this guy, Michael Rubin, doesn't give two shits about the Sixers fan. What he does give two shits about is Michael Rubin and Michael Rubin's wallet. That's all he cares about. So, in terms of as a fan, this is a terrible decision. It's an awful decision. I hate Michael Rubin. He needs to sell. Oh, because you know what? We're about to go in another process. I'm sure he's looking to find a way to dump Embiid so he can save a few more million each year.
Do it.
Here, and then
Do
and then we're gonna go in another process, and he's gonna be like, "Where are all the fans for my fancy new stadium?" Nobody's gonna show up because you charge top dollar for a shitty team all of a sudden again, and because he doesn't care about winning. He's the John Fisher of the NBA.
Ooh. Yeah, the Sixers are definitely going to have to figure out that catastrophe. That's the latest and breaking news on our Philadelphia 76ers as of Wednesday, September 4th at 9:30 p.m. when we are recording this, our weekly show. If you guys haven't, also want to take a quick second to advertise, it's getting close to Halloween time. So the link is in the bio for our new 302 Halloween tees. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're sick, simply put. Gritty's on there, the Fanatics on there, Sixers Franklin, all the great Philly mascots. I probably should have put hip hop on there looking back on it in retrospective, but it's okay. But seriously, go cop one. Our online store is really taking a step ahead. Their Suicide Prevention Month t-shirts, 100% of profits are donated to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So check it out if you guys have it. But now, getting into what I've been waiting for, what Jack's been waiting for, pretty much since February, since it ended. The Philadelphia Eagles play football on Friday. We're going to be together, us three, maybe ballpark if we get lucky. Probably not, though. I know he did say that he has some further commitments. Maybe. But anytime that we're all watching a game, it's going to be hilarious. But this game in particular has a lot going for it. Number one, it's a Friday night NFL game. I've never seen that before. Not at least that I remember. So this is going to be at least when the Eagles played. I know they had the Black Friday game last year, but this is going to be nuts. This is going to be insane. Philadelphia is going to be buzzing. Brazil is going to be buzzing. And it's a shame because I actually wanted to be able to bring our guest on here, Philly sports guy. Unfortunately, he was a little bit tied up. The Wi-Fi isn't the best there. I know he's traveling from one city to another. But we did have this video we wanted to show with him because he's been living his best life, to say the least. And we're going to get him on here probably next week. I texted him. I'll see when he's available. I know he has like a million things going on as we're getting back into the swing of the NFL season. But want to see if I can get him on here for like maybe 5-10 minutes just to share all the stuff that he's done. This is just a little sneak peek. PSG, if you're listening and watching, shout out to you, the Renaissance man. If you want to talk about making the most of a trip, and I also wanted to shout out Philly Sports Trips, this is making the most of a trip. He was dancing tonight with somebody. This isn't everything, but this is just a little snippet.
History was made today by the Philly sports guys. At Christ the Redeemer here in beautiful Rio de Janeiro. It is so amazing up here. We just got up here, walked all those steps up, and you can only get it here on Philly Sports Trips. That's what I'm talking about.
And you can only get it there on Philly Sports Trips, like he said. So shout out to Philly Sports Trips. I know Jamie does a lot with them. When we put that video together, I think it was yesterday. That was at like in the morning just because everybody's got stuff going on. I wanted to be prepared for when PSG came on here. And that was only a little bit of what he's done. So if you guys want to see more about his trip, give him a follow on Instagram at the Philly Sports Guy, TikTok, every social media outlet he's on there. And give Philly Sports Trips a follow because they have all done a fantastic job representing well and showing that really Brazil has welcomed Philly fans with open arms. There's been none of that BS, none of those fake stories about you can't wear green, this and that. They're not crazy. They're not savages. It's not like when you come to Philadelphia, if you wear the color blue on an off day, that you're going to get shanked or killed because we think that you're a Cowboys fan. We're not that crazy. So what I've heard and what I've seen from all of our Philly fans out there is that that was all completely not true and, you know, all exaggerated. But how are you guys feeling about some of this? I know Big Dom saying that players can't be on their phones too.
Really bad.
Nothing is good about this game besides it's the Eagles game. Like, just Brazil's not a state. No, not a good country. You know, I don't like to leave the country. I don't think anybody should leave the country. I don't think the NFL should have games outside the country. I don't care if it's Europe. I'm a big America, Team America, World Police type of guy. I don't like the Friday night game. I don't like anything about this. That's it. Don't go to Brazil. Don't leave America. Go team. USA.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think it's cool. I'm a big fan of Friday Night Lights. So having Friday Night Lights for the NFL is a pretty cool thing to experience.
That's for the high school.
No, Josh.
It is for the high schoolers.
For the high school.
But I think it's cool that it's on Friday night. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm a big fan of the jersey selection the Eagles chose, the black pants, black helmet, white jerseys. So to see them wear those, I think that would look sick. And Eagles by 14.
Woo. Yeah, we'll get to all that too. Don't worry. You don't have to give your score prediction yet, Tommy. We still have a lot more to dive into with
I
the
know we
Eagles.
do.
But how are you feeling about all these restrictions and all that? Do you think that this was being exaggerated?
I feel like it's just like I like to travel different, like, let's just take within the US in general. People say don't go into Philadelphia anymore. Why? Well, you might get shot. That's not true. I was in Philadelphia this weekend. Like, perfectly fine human being. Hey, like,
Debatable.
like, you got to know where you're walking, where you're going. Just like any other place. People, I went down south this summer. People are like, oh, don't go down there. They're uncivilized redneck hicks. Like, that's like what people up north say about the South. Couldn't have been nicer people down south. I think I got treated the best. I got, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, how can I help you? Like, people were falling over themselves to help me when I was down south, compared to like up north, where if I ask somebody a question, I'll get a fuck you. Like, so I think it's just like anywhere else. Like, don't be dumb. Don't, like, wave money up in the air, like, ooh, look what I got, everyone. Like, don't be an idiot. I think is like the safest rule you can think of. I know people who've traveled to Brazil plenty of times and nothing's ever happened to them. So once again, I think it's just like any other place. Like, are there dangerous parts where unfortunately there's a high crime area? Sure. Is there other parts that are absolutely gorgeous, once in a lifetime experience to go see? And if you're smart and safe about things, you'll be perfectly fine. Absolutely. Like, there are many places in this world that are high targeted areas, as we live in the United States that has many high targeted areas for people who are bad actors to cause crime. Like, I that's what I think about it. So, I think they're gonna be perfectly fine. They're staying at the hotel, which I'm perfectly fine with the restrictions. Your job is to go play football. I don't need you being James Harden and going to the strip club and not giving a shit about a big game coming up. I need you to focus on the game and go win that game. Every game matters. Just like baseball's got 162 games. Guess what? At the end of the season, when you're out of the playoffs by one game, every game mattered, and you should have focused for 162 games. When you are in the wild card because you didn't focus for a whole month of December, or instead of having your first round bye, hey, guess what I'll be saying? Every game mattered. So I'm glad they have all these restrictions, and you can say it's for safety. I think it's so they can actually freaking focus. Did you see how they ended last season, Dutch? They need the restrictions to focus. Dutch, you're muted.
Would you be giving restrictions out there, Coach Tommy? If you were
Absolutely.
Dom's job, like, would you have on the full black sweatsuit
Absolutely.
with the Italian flag?
I think Big Dom knew which buttons to push. He knew if he struck the fear of God into these players, they were going to listen to him. He's no idiot. He's a fellow Italian, Dutch. He knows.
Mama, mortadella.
And hold on, I have one more thing to say. I got a bone to pick with Jackson there. Playing on a Friday night NFL game is one of the most un-American things to do. It is a Friday Night Lights tradition. There's nothing more American than being part of your small town high school football game on a Friday night with with the Boys of Glory going back out there, thinking that they could still suit up at the ripe age of 78, hey, with 2 knee replacements and a hip replacement on the way, thinking they can keep up with these boys. Hey, there's nothing more American than that, than letting the high schoolers play and have their day of glory.
You go
Let
to
them
Glen
have their
Mills to
day.
do that, or Sally's? Where do you go?
What?
Where do you go to do yours? Sally's? Where do you go on a
Yeah,
Friday
I guess
night?
Sally's.
Good
That's
man.
where I went. It'd be weird if I went to Garnet Valley. Like,
I don't know. You are a weird guy. I wasn't counting
I'm
it
not.
out.
I'm not that weird. I'm not that weird.
I just think it's amazing that it's on a Friday night under the lights. That we have a whole weekend to watch football. College football Saturday, and if more NFL games.
I watch
on
high school.
Sunday.
High school football Friday, college Saturday, NFL Thursday,
So-
Sunday, and
So
Monday.
Tommy,
Hey, I
you
was
went-
having a weekend full of football anyway. Even
you
if the
went-
Eagles weren't playing.
you went to a high school football game last Friday?
No, I did not.
Oh,
Baseball
okay.
season.
Okay, so you can you
Big
went
fan.
to Friday night football games when you were in high school. You're
Hold
out
on.
of high school.
I still have gone to. I went to a few last year with a few of my buddies.
Mhm.
Tommy, I thought you couldn't get within 50 feet of a high school.
Is that why you live in the middle of nowhere, Maryland now?
Actually, I live at the end of somewhere, but that's besides the point. I'm
All
a
right.
little upset about the Brazil thing. Sucks. You know what's not allowed in Brazil? This podcast, because they censor everything. Facts. That's a politically correct statement.
It is a politically correct statement.
Yeah, it's communist. Whatever. It's fine. They have a dictatorship down there. It's cool. Jesus.
So who do you guys over there think is going to score the first touchdown for the Eagles? Because I guess with what Josh is saying, we're going to be on a delay. DraftKings is going to see it first. Who's
First
getting the first
touchdown.
tutty this year?
It's gonna be a dart to Devontae Smith.
I think it's actually going to be Goddard.
I
Long
think it's gonna be a
touchdown,
push
short
push.
touchdown, medium.
It's gonna be
Push,
like
push.
I would say 45-yard pass touchdown.
I think it's going to be a 4-yard on the goal line play action pass to Goddard.
No, they would run it with Saquon on that scenario.
Well, I think
So that was dumb.
Well,
that was dumb.
maybe you're
That
thinking,
was dumb.
Maybe you're thinking what the Packers defense is thinking, and they'll bite for the play action.
No, that's dumb. That's dumb.
That's
Josh.
exactly why you run
You're,
the play
you're a
action.
smart individual. When you're gonna say they're gonna throw an out route
I guess
on
we'll see.
the
I guess
4-yard line,
I guess we'll see.
it's not gonna happen, Josh. Did they do that last year at all? No,
We have a
They
different
ran it.
coordinator. We have-
they ran it.
we have
Okay.
different coordinators.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Dutch,
Playbook's
you know
wide
what they
open.
remind me of? The
Kellen
two,
Moore is a drop back coordinator.
Muppets.
yeah, the 2 old men
Yeah.
in the Muppets.
That is a good comparison. Who do you got scoring the first tutty this year, Tom? Fucking Jake Elliott?
No, God no. Jake Elliott might get the first points of the season, and but it's gonna be a tush push, please. Old tried and true.
So Hurts.
Yeah.
All right. I will go out on a whim, and I will say that the Eagles end up having the first touchdown of the season to the unexpected new guy in Jahan Dotson. Maybe
I
they
would like
draw
that.
something up that nobody expects it. Obviously, when you see A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, respectfully, 2 great wide receivers, you're going to cover them. You can't cover them all. That's the beautiful part about what Howie did. You can't cover them all. So somebody's going to get a slip up at some point in the game. I wouldn't be shocked if Jahan Dotson gets open on some kind of a deep route, maybe like a 25, 20-yard strike down in the red zone, or right outside of the red zone, maybe even like a 30-yard. I don't think it's going to be much more than that. I do think that to start the game, I will say this hot take. I think that nobody's going to score. The first 2 drives, I think, will be scoreless. I think that there's going to be jitters. I think that there's going to be that playing for the first time in a new country. There's going to be all the people watching, new stadium, all of it. And then I think once each team goes through one drive, that's going to be when the real game starts. That's going to be when we really start to see this thing get it together. And like Dennis said, it could be a defensive touchdown. I would love to see Isaiah Rodgers get a pick six. That would be crazy. And if you guys aren't doing anything on Saturday too, just want to say, please come out to the 302 Birds Fantasy Football Show. Dennis and Sean are going to be hosting it, doing a great job giving you guys advice, tips, everything fantasy football. I know I'll be trying to join it if I can, and some other people will too. But yeah, all in all, I will say Jahan Dotson. Did everybody take that? As far as I know, everybody answered.
Oh, we took it, buddy.
Oh, we took it. So, Josh, go ahead and take this first. Oh, yeah, Josh.
Take expectations. I think
for the whole season, not just this game, too.
Yeah. I think my big thing is we have a stacked roster. We have no depth. So I think we really have to play healthy. We have to stay healthy. I think when you look at that, we have a glaring like drop down from first to second strings. I think we have a young defense, but they can step in. In all honesty, my biggest concern right now is that the Eagles were horrible on offense when the opposing defense blitzed. That, plus the fact that Kelsey retired, plus the fact that Kellen Moore likes to drop back a lot. He's not really a run first or play action type of coordinator. I think all those are recipes for disaster, but I do think that we're really good. So the NFC is stacked. I think we win the division. After that, I don't know. We made the playoffs. I think the Lions are really good. I think the Rams are going to be really good. I think the Cowboys will still be in there. I think the 49ers have a drop-off, but are still good. I think Lions, Rams, Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys are your top five kind of top-tier NFC teams. Then we got to see. I think every team in the AFC took a drop or took a step down besides maybe the Ravens, personally. So, NFC East winners.
Yeah, no, I think I have to agree with Josh there. I think the NFC as a whole got a lot better than the AFC for sure. For the Eagles' expectations for me, we have a really good team. We'll see how we have that glaring hole, not glaring hole, but see how Jurgensen does at center, taking the reins on that. Saquon Barkley has to stay healthy if we want to go deep in the playoffs for sure. And AJ Brown, all of our receivers need to make sure they're healthy, because if we don't have them, we're not going to go deep in the round. And I think the defense needs to show up, because obviously we saw last year how we could not tackle at all. They kind of gave up towards the end of the season. So we'll see how with Vic Fangio at the helm, how he is as a defense coordinator. But I think it's going to be a really good season. I think that the Eagles will win the division for sure. We have the 9th easiest schedule this season. Granted, it doesn't really matter, but it's a hell of a lot better than last season. Whatchamacallit?
With the gauntlet.
Schedule. So yeah. I'm excited to see what this team can do. My expectations is 12 and 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the defense plays as good as the offense does. So, like, if the offense is firing all cylinders like it should, I think the defense does enough to keep us winning. But I think if the offense struggles and the vibes get low, and the defense is going to struggle, which kind of like what we saw last year. Like, the defense is really good, then the offense started to suck, and then the defense kind of vibed down with them. So, team game.
Yeah, I think this season, Dutch, is going to be hazy, just like their camera work over there. Jesus H, looks like I'm looking through a freaking dirty fishbowl over there. Sorry. I just had to say that. I think the Eagles' season's going to be very dependent on, once again, how these linebackers play. Like, if it's going to be mediocre again, it's just going to be a lot of like slant passes and short routes, and they're just going to trickle down the field, which I think was the annoying part as you saw them go throughout the season, especially the latter half of the season. Teams figured out they don't really have that great of a linebacker. They really don't have linebacker depth now, too. I think if they don't play well, the season's also going to start to go down. But to Josh's point about the defense vibing and the offense vibing, what's the best form of defense? Well, it's having your offense out there for the majority of the time. None of this Chip Kelly, hey, let's just matriculate the ball down the field and see how many plays we can get a game, and it doesn't really matter time of possession. Time of possession, I think, is going to be crucial to the Birds this year. If Jalen can hold on to that ball and run the ball a lot with Saquon, run the ball a lot with what's his name? Shipley and Fletcher Cox's cousin. I'm
Kenny G.
Yeah.
Kenny G.
Kenny Gainwell. I hope he gains well this year here because he was not gaining well last year. That's the ultimate dad joke.
Dad fucking jokes galore over there.
Seriously.
Lighting here, Tom. Let's see what you're talking about.
Oh, like Dutch is coming in very clear. Is like crystal clear. Here.
Definitely did not.
Yeah,
that's because my webcam. But I hear what you're saying though, Tom. That's a decent point.
There's nothing artistic about shaky cam, Jack.
I wanna react to this comment here that Jack has up. I like it a lot. If the Eagles are out of it, I would not mind this Super Bowl. The NFL needs a more entertaining Super Bowl. Texans Lions would be a fun one to watch. But back to the Birds real quick. I just want to say, yeah, Fratty, we appreciate you. And if you guys don't, check out the Phillies post-game show. I know that they weren't able to do it today, just had some family stuff going on. But if you guys don't, check them out. Be sure to stay tuned because I believe tomorrow the Phillies play, right, Tom?
Yes.
They
start a 4-game set against the Marlins.
They should be on tomorrow, and I'm going to try to jump on if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to. I really got to hone in on this vlog. But back to the Birds. I really, really have the expectation for not just the Super Bowl, not just a parade, but I want to beat teams' ass this year. I want to feel like we're in control throughout the whole season. Even though we were 10-1 last year, if you guys really remember, there was criticism. There was a lot of the Eagles aren't really who they're supposed to be. They're a fraud. They're this, they're that. And then we were exposed by the 49ers and we fell apart. The season that we went to the Super Bowl in 2022, the year before that, there was no weak spots until the Super Bowl, until like a mistake or two. But you're human. You expect that. That happens. Sometimes you come away with them. Sometimes you don't. That's sports. That's life. That's games. That's what you get into. But point being, I want to see the Eagles be a team like they were in 2022. Beat the fucking brakes off these teams. Show no mercy every game. Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. And to the coaches, you better come with a fucking insane game plan every week and be willing to change it up, be on your feet, be on the ball. Because if you didn't see what happened last year, that shows you that people study this team. They know this team. So as a coach, as a player, you got to be ahead of that. So I hope that they really are. I think that they will be too. They brought in a lot of wise guys. And I don't mean that in a wise way. I actually mean like guys that have been around the game and are serious about what they do. Like you see the fucking picture of Saquon Barkley getting a cut before he gets on the plane and he's watching film. The dude doesn't take any breaks, any time off. So finding guys that are that serious about their craft, I think is something to be said for the Eagles organization.
Tom, is that better for you?
A lot better. Thank you.
That is a lot better.
I was missing Josh's beautiful, beautiful face.
Thank you.
Jack, you can put the sunglasses back on.
I agree with you, Dalton, but at the same time, winners win, losers lose. And at the end of the day, they don't ask how. They ask how many.
I don't know where you're going with that, but
they don't ask how you win. They just ask how many.
I'm with him. I think it's a good quote. I'm with you, Josh. Yeah, if you were my coach right now, I'd be putting my hand in the huddle.
Listen, the Eagles are going to smoke them, all of them. And if not, we're going to riot in the streets. Also, we might have Red October saving us, so it really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If we come out of this year with 1 championships, it's a win. If we come out of this year with 2 championships, Jesus Christ, you better look out because the city's going to burn down. They might as well move the Sixers to New Jersey now then, because
the Eagles are
there's going to be no more Philly.
Yeah, the biggest competition the Eagles have this year is themselves.
Is the mirror.
Is themselves, for sure. We've seen that, how it affected them last year, and hopefully it's not the same.
You know, the year 2022 was a lot of come from ahead, almost losses.
Yeah, but
they got up and then you know,
all Jason Kelsey things.
How about we just beat the shit out of them?
I agree.
No, sir.
I want you to make a video, Josh. I want to make it with you, and I want it to be called Sirianni-isms, and I want it to be where we act like Sirianni and like look in the mirror and be like, your biggest competition.
I
love
similes. I love metaphors. I'm a big quote guy.
You
remember I used to do the rising grinds.
Yeah, no, you don't do them.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? What happened to that?
It's hard. I was looking at some of them actually, and I should be on a no-flyer list after some of the stuff I wrote down. But
you really should. I have a whole folder of them I'll have to send you after this. That
the flower was growing. 2024 season, we went from a flower to a motherfucking tree. All right, a tree that's gonna fall in the house of the NFL and kick people right in the ass. Okay, G. It's such an awkward chant if you get to the root of it. Like, why are we spelling the name? But anyway,
because Josh, it's fucking tradition. It's not awkward because your fucking uncles did it, and ever since you remember and shit, you can remember doing it. That's what being a Birds fan is all about, right, Tom?
Right.
We don't fucking know why we. Yeah, see, Ryan.
What, like, why does Jordan need sunglasses inside? It doesn't necessarily make sense, but it's because we are who we are, and we win within who we win.
Because, Tom, I am a star, and it's so bright that I can't see myself, so I need the sunglasses because I'm a star.
I'm just glad it's covering more of your face.
Oh my God, you two are fucking.
Let's do trivia.
Oh yeah, I forgot about trivia. So we're gonna do the trivia intro. And then after, put your guys' answers in the comments. Real quick. Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
I
was going to say we have no more topics.
You're talking too much, so I put it.
You're good.
What's
Take
the
it.
Trivia?
The trivia question we have for you tonight's a Phillies one because to make Tommy happy. It's in what place did the 1972 Phillies who won 27 games? Finish? A, 5th place, B, 6th place, C, 2nd place, or D, 3rd place?
What place did the 70s for whom Steve Carlton won 27 games finish?
Yeah, Josh.
1972.
All right, I just texted you my answer. Put your guys' answers in the comments right now. We'll see if any fans give it. We'll give you guys a couple of seconds. Fratty out here putting his answer in there.
See. Do 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 do. All right,
I take a guess.
Again, we'll go back to this bad boy.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
That was crazy how quick it was. So tonight's question was, in what place did the 1972 Phillies, for whom Steve Carlton won 27 games, finish? A, 5th place, B, 6th place, C, 2nd place, or D, 3rd place? And tonight's answer, Tom, did you text me?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Tonight's answer for you is Tommy got it correct. It is B, 6th place. Dalton said D, incorrect. Josh said C. And Ash said B, 6th place.
Who knows that?
Yeah, you gotta
that year, the Phillies were so bad, Josh. Steve Carlton quite literally got half of their wins. They only won
I don't know who Steve Carlton is, Tom.
Steve Carlton is the greatest pitcher to have ever pitched for the Phillies. He has the 2nd most seasons with at least 200 strikeouts by a left-handed pitcher in MLB history. Hey, only 2nd to Randy the Big Unit Johnson.
He's Big Johnson.
Do better.
Josh.
How did I not know that? There's something probably else I didn't know that you're about to shout at me. Just like every other
The
podcast.
city's got Big
Alright.
Johnsons and Big Dick Nicks.
Go
What
Birds.
else do we need? I don't know.
No burn.
So boys and girls, it is
So
week
guys,
one.
it's an outro, not an intro.
It is week 1 for the NFL. We got the Ravens and Chiefs tomorrow. Big game.
He has
big
to
game.
say that. He has a gun to his head behind the camera right now.
Yeah, he does.
Big game tomorrow. AFC
Shout out to
Championship
Kayla.
matchup, rematch. And then we got the freaking Eagles on Friday at I think 7:30 or 8:30, whatever time it is. We will come out in Pau Saulo, Brazil, and kick the living shit out of the fucking Green Bay Packers. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Without further ado, hey Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
What we got? 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Birds. Oh my gosh, Chad.
Your favorite Chicagoan. Go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.